I am the Headless Headhunter, a corporate recruiter, here to review your resumes so that you can get ahead of your job search. So, the resume we have up top in the first, up front, whatever my words are not working, is a full stack / .NET software engineer / software developer. So, that doesn't work. This person is okay, so there's a couple of issues with this person. First off, they're on a F1 OPT, which is a visa status, so that is already going to hurt your chances. Realistically, if you need any kind of sponsorship, it's going to take about like 3 times as many applications. So this person may have upwards of like 200, 300 applications before they get an interview, which is not good. So, but even with great like formatting, which I can do, is and how to schedule the resume, my brain is not working. I'm very tired today, y'all. Schedule the resume. Anyway, even with my help, it's still maybe going to be like an 80-to-1, which is 80 applications to 1 interview. I think 80 to 90-to-1 for somebody that needs a visa is a solid ratio. Ideally, if they were not on a visa, it would be about 1 to 20, 1 to 35. So, the first issue is you listed like a bunch of different stuff. So a .NET software engineer is going to be different than a full stack software engineer keyword wise. They don't really tell you this in college apparently, but once you go to the corporate world, you need to pick a stack. You need to do front end, full, or back, and they all have different keywords. And then if you do back end, it's going to differ based on if it's C, Java, or Python. So the keywords are arguably one of the most important things in your resume. So I cannot help you look for a .NET one and a full stack one. So we are specifically going with full stack, which seems to be the most popular one right now anyway. Although weirdly enough, software engineer and software developer usually have the same keywords. Okay, I have completely messed up my own formatting. But what we're going to be looking for full stack specifically, again, .NET would have different stuff, is TypeScript, Python, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, MongoDB, SQL, React.js, API REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and bonus points for architecture, extra languages, and Git. If you do not have these in the resume, you will not be moved forward. That's just the nature of the business, unfortunately. So, do you have those? We will find out. C. So normally a summary is not good, but in this case, this might be one of the cases where you may want a very small summary where it just says how a company could work with an OPT visa, because it's entirely possible that they may have the requirements to work with it, but not understand that it is different from an H-1B. So you may want a little thing of like, can work at a company with no cost or whatever it is. Like, again, it's been a little bit. So formatting wise, besides that, this is actually mostly solid. You don't need to say when you started, you just need to say when you graduated, and this should be 1 line. So ideally everything should look like this. This is peak resume performance. This should be 1 line. This doesn't need to be bolded, but again, that's not the biggest issue. So developed and led a full stack parking detection web using Angular, which is good, ASP.NET, which I don't care about, RESTful APIs, which I do care about, and C#, which I don't care about, Python and SQL, which I do. And here is sort of the reason you don't know. I do know some full stack will want .NET, but those are going to be kind of rare. So realistically, what you should do is like a full stack resume, and then more like specifically a C# resume with .NET, if my memory serves of what that should do. So improve system uptime by 50% by scripting OS, Pirate. Okay, nothing here I need. Integrated GitHub Actions to automate CI/CD, reducing deployment time and manual integration. That's a good one. Modernized legacy by Docker, orchestrating scalable deployments via Kubernetes. See, here's the thing. Kubernetes is pretty good for some jobs, but not all of them. I feel like you could do this a little bit different. And the problem is I don't see TypeScript. I don't see JavaScript, CSS, HTML. I don't see Cloud. Do I see Cloud? No. Or Agile. But ideally, we really do need TypeScript, JavaScript, and CSS, HTML. Those are in so many jobs. Those are like the most important skills for full stack practically, which is, whatever. I can't code, but that's what they want. So automated using OTA and PowerShell, DO security. I don't care. Yeah, none of this matters. I mean, you should still have it because it shows your internship, but maybe just 1 line. So, but your bullet points are iffy here, and it's already going to be an uphill climb for you. So Python dash, built a real time using Python to using APIs using Plotly. See, this is fine. Yeah, you're just missing some keywords and your formatting's off, but also you're on an OPT and that's just going to be hard. So, I think if you fix those, cleaned up your keywords, again, they're split it off into a C# and a full stack one. So you're going to do backend C# as a resume, and then you're going to have a resume of full stack. And in the full stack one, you're going to need to add a little bit more keywords and then format these a little bit better and add some of these things right here into here, because it doesn't count if they're not here. I did see that you have next.js and Azure, which is good, but that should probably be closer to the top. So is this a bad resume? No, but it's not a good resume, and you need this to be a fantastic resume. So that is it for this particular resume. Before we move on to the next one, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you need help, you can submit your resume below or at my website, which is headlessheadhunter.org. And yeah, I want to help you all out. Or alternatively, come on my Twitch chat. That's where I do this stuff live. That's where I hunt for these keywords. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST. Again, the link is below, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a software engineer. What kind of software engineer, you ask? I don't know. They didn't tell me. They said new ground around 60 to 75 applications with no offers. Wait, do you mean 60 to 75 applications with no offers or no interviews? Because this is an interview ratio, what I asked, not necessarily an offer ratio. Offers are a little bit different on what metrics we track. So I'm assuming they meant 60 to 75 applications with no interviews. However, I've only applied on LinkedIn. That's fine. Most software engineering jobs will be on LinkedIn or Indeed. A lot of jobs were out of state and associated with larger organizations. Yeah, well, if they're out of state, you have much less of a chance of getting it. Companies, even if you're going to relocate on your own dime, you stand a much better chance of getting rejected than to an in-state candidate. So, first off, formatting's off. Again, this is the formatting you should use. The closer it is to this, the better. I don't need these bars. This should be one line. Otherwise, this is a minor thing. And then again, if you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder, you should put your citizenship status and the city and state. Again, you should be trying to apply to jobs in state first. It's very difficult to get an out-of-state job, especially for a new grad. Companies are, even if you're going to relocate on your own money, it is a huge risk for a company to have a candidate relocate on their own money. And I've seen many deals where candidates have said they will, and they ended up dropping out of the process. So recruiters and managers are very wary of candidates having to relocate. So you didn't pick a software specialization, which is what you need to do, which I don't know why they don't teach you that in school, which I feel like that's so critical. But yeah, let's see. So organization, software engineer, okay. Collaborated with a team, housing management for client, digital platform, don't care about anything here. Delivered core functionalities, user CRUD operations, don't care about here. Python, Django, and SQLite build the backend while leveraging, I hate the word leveraging, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. I don't care about Bootstrap, but the others are solid. Okay, so here's the problem. This is needed here because, you just graduated, you need that. I don't care about any of this. You know what? I kind of care about Google Cloud, but it's easy to miss it because you put Google Cloud VM, and usually what it's sort of known as in the job posting is GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform, not Google Cloud VM. So I would instead say Google Cloud Platform if that was the case. And then you can put GCP and then write it like GCP for the rest of it. So here's part of the problem. This is solid. So this is kind of full stack, which is good, but I'm not going to care as much about Django. So I'm assuming maybe you are going to be full stack, which is okay, but you need to pick a specialization. So full stack keywords are here, right? These are full stack keywords. This is what's going to get you a job as a full stack person. In the United States, EU has slightly different keywords for that. I don't know why, but they do. For Python, though, maybe you wanted to do a Python, which I'm going to pull up real quick. This right here is Python. So if you wanted to be a full stack right here, those keywords. If you wanted to do the back end with Python, those keywords. Yes, there are a lot of similarities, but you need to pick which one you do because there are enough differences to basically determine if you're going to get a job or not. So storage information, I don't care about this. Build a dynamic front end using React, solid. Using RESTful API, solid. With Spring Boot backend, solid. Although it's more in the UK than US, but still okay. MySQL, deploy the application. Yeah, so these are actually pretty solid projects with what I'm looking for. The problem is your formatting is not showing them, and the order you place them is off. So this should be up top. This is the stuff I'm actually looking for. Right here. There's nothing I need here besides Google Cloud VM, which again, they may get confused with that and not understand it's Google Cloud Platform. So you need more keywords here. Then for projects, this is a phenomenal one. These two should be up top. Then you can have this one, but there's nothing here that I need. So yeah, this is not bad, but you need to apply to more than 60 to 75 jobs. Realistically, you should be applying to 50 jobs a week, because an average, like a solid amount of interviews for somebody that just graduated is 1 in 50. Like one app is 50 app. I'm still so tired, y'all. Sorry. Is 50 applications per one interview. That is like a C plus if I gave it a grade. If you were a full-time, like, you know, you've been in the business for like 3 to 4 years, then a 1 to 50 would be the equivalent of like a C minus. But the fact is you're just new and it's highly competitive. That's what you need to do. So to summarize, formatting is mostly good. There's just a couple of tweaks you need. Your biggest problem is your bullet points. They actually have most of the keywords I'm looking for, but they're sort of all the way at the bottom, which is not what I want. I want you to reorganize those, and there's a lot of extraneous keywords that I don't need that you should take out. So pick a stack, which in this case, probably full stack. I would say full stack. You seem to already have most of it, which is pretty solid. Apply to places in state. Seriously, it's going to help you out a lot more, and you're going to need to apply to about 50 jobs a week or more. It is a tough market, and it's only getting tougher at the time of this video. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a GIS analyst, which is Geographic Information Systems Analyst. You're wondering, why is the formatting so off here? And that's because this person fully docks themselves and others on this, to the point where this is the only thing I can show you without showing you other people's numbers and names. So you're going to have to trust me that the formatting was just not good. So this is going to be a completely, please don't do this. So first off, you have some terrible formatting issues. All right. What we're going to look for in a GIS analyst position is specifically data analyst, GIS, ESRI, ArcGIS, and SQL, and that you've made changes within the org and how you present data. Less important, but still useful, is data visualization, Python supply chain optimization, Microsoft Office Access, Excel, and Word. So, first off, you need bullet points. This person's education is both too long. It should be 3 lines max, but you should keep everything you have there. Just make it prettier, or more boring, which is ideal for what we want to do. So you need to make it clearer and easier to read. Do it like this. Then for the actual one, you need bullet points. And for the love of all that is holy, don't put the people you can contact on your resume. This person has fully put other people's information and phone numbers on the resume, which is why I'm not showing it, because this is the only thing I can show that is not going to dox other people. So stop doing that. Your formatting is awful. You have a 1 in 50 ratio, which I assume means this is a sort of niche area. So just fix the formatting. You'll have a better chance. But I still need this in the bullet points. So again, for everybody that's submitting at home, please scrub your information before you do it. I don't want to have to take extra time to not do it, and I could miss stuff. This is a public review. Please scrub your information. For whatever you do, don't put your contacts, like your referrals contacts information on your resume. So does this resume pass? Barely, but the formatting was way off. Again, this is like a C minus, but nobody else turned in their work. So yeah, fix your formatting, have actual bullet points, add a little bit more ESRI, ArcGIS, SQL, and make changes within the org and present data. And if you resubmit, for the love of all the recruitment people ever, please, 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 please scrub yours and your other people's information before you send it. Let me go to the next resume. This is a resume of a software engineer. So, this is probably going to be the biggest problem, which is it's a generalized resume. And again, even if you're not a software engineer, no resume should be generalized. A resume that gets you a interview as a customer service associate is not going to get you an interview as a manager. You really do want 4 different job titles or a combination of job titles that mean the same thing, separate resumes for each. And I think that is going to be the problem. This is a recent grad-ish. They've been searching for over a year for an entry-level position, and they've only gotten 5 interviews, which is not good. It's not good at all. They have been rejected, and they've sent over 1,000 applications, and they're cusp of giving up entirely. So first off, don't. I think there are some times when giving up can be healthy. I don't think this is it. Based on the very quick out of my peripherals what I see, I already know what the problem is. Your problem is you have not specified what you are doing, and your resume is not good. But I will say, even with a good resume, you want to average about 1 to 75, 1 to 50. So specifically for new grads, the ratio is a little harder. So it's going to be 1 to 50 is like a C+, while a 1 to 75 ratio is a C-. So, but definitely 5 out of 1,000 is terrifyingly bad. So here's what we're going to try to do. The first thing you need to do as a software engineer is pick the job title you want. Full stack, front end, back end. And if it's back end, Java, Python, or why did I forget the last one? Java, Python, C# or whatever. There we go. Jeez. Should not have forgotten that. So that is your problem, is you not specified, because the job that will get you a front-end job is not the job that the resume that will get you a front-end job is not the resume that will get you a back-end job, is ironically not the resume that will get you a full stack. I understand full stack is front and back, but weirdly enough, they have different keywords and qualifications. So you can ask me in the video and I'll copy paste them. I don't have C#, but I do have Python, Java, front end, and full stack keyword saved. I don't have the C# ones yet, unfortunately. But so, and now let's look at this. So yeah, this formatting's bad, and this is nothing that I'd want at all, except API, which is fine. So yeah, ideally you want this formatting, okay? There's a reason I don't have a lot of bold stuff. There's a reason I don't have a technical skill section. You don't need a technical skill section, especially when you just graduate. I have seen multiple managers say, wow, they put C, C++, C#, Java, Python, all of that. They must not know what they're talking about, which again, that's beyond my tech knowledge, but you don't need a technical skill section. It's redundant in a resume. So you do not need this. You do need this. But this should be one line. This can fit into one line. Again, if you follow this formatting guide, which is also on my website and it's also below, it'll do that. So I'm not going to harp the rest over formatting because this issue is bullet point based, I'm assuming. Because even with a bad formatted resume, if you have good bullet points, you can still get some interviews, just less. So, developed a Firefox extension for dynamic AI. I don't care about Google Gemini. I don't care about OpenAI. I don't care about ChatGPT. I shouldn't care about Reddit, but I'm on Reddit a lot. So, also, man, if you wanted to end the world, you'd start it from learning on 4chan. That's, ugh. But anyway, improved response rate, accuracy about 90%, engagement. I don't give a darn about that. That doesn't matter to me at all. Optimized API. That's the first thing I saw that I might need, which was API. Then built a music player in Python, good. Textual, don't care. Spotify API good. Spotify less. In a U-based player resource, don't care. Vim, don't care. 90%, don't care. Worked as a team of 7 as a full stack e-commerce using React, TypeScript, Tailwind, CSS, and AWS. Finally, we have a good bullet point. This is the only thing that's good that I see. I have to go all the way down here before I can get to the first actual bullet point. But guess what? If you're applying to back-end roles, this won't matter. If you're applying to front-end roles, this won't matter as much. If you're applying to full-stack roles, this is what they want to see. Although AWS is sort of evergreen. If you have AWS, it's good on all of them. So, except for AWS. Integrated OM and Stripe for reducing query. I don't care. Instagram. Yeah. So again, I'm not trying to be mean by saying your accomplishments aren't impressive. I'm saying I don't care about these accomplishments because this is not the accomplishments that my manager wants, right? What we're looking for is specifically in the job description, and it's going to change based on if it's front end, back end, or full stack. And even in back end, it's going to change based on Java, Python, and C#. So I'm going to need you to pick, all right? And what you can do is you can have like 2 or 3 resumes. It's okay to have 2 or 3 resumes, each that are slightly different. So pick which one you want and then have those keywords, because as example, these are the Java keywords, right? This is Java backend. Those are the keywords for Java. Where did I put my other one? These, on the other hand, are the keywords for Python, which is probably getting cut off. But besides SQL, API, and cloud, and RESTful, they're different, all right? And then those are also different from full stack that are different from front end. So if you want, pick which one and I can send them to you in the comments below. But the reason you're not having any luck, which is the same reason everybody doesn't have luck with this, is generalized resumes always fail. You will never get a job with a generalized resume. A resume that can do it all does nothing well. And these bullet points are not good because they're not what I actually care about. I care about what's up here, which in this case, I don't even know which one you'd want because this is like 3 different jobs right here. So how I want you to write the rest of your bullet points is this, okay? This right here is a very good written bullet point, even if some of the keywords are not needed. I don't care that you did well. I don't care how good you are. I want to burn that into everybody's brain right now. Recruiters don't care how good you are. They don't care that you increased a 20% blah, blah, blah by 90% of a zooba-da-boop. All right? We don't care. We don't know. We don't understand. I don't care if you think we're fools or idiots. That's okay. I don't care. But we don't care about that. I need this. The resume is to show your minimum qualifications to meet an interview. That is its entire purpose. You do not show how good you are, how you're better than other people in the resume, or you will fail. The exception to that is sales. Sales is a little bit different, but once you're in the interview, you do show how much better you are than everybody else. So this resume does not work because partly formatting, but primarily the bullet points are not good, and it's a generalized resume, and generalized resumes do not work. And I think you can look through the channels here if you go through, and most every time there's been a generalized resume is they've had like a 1 in 50 or like 200 applications to one interview. You need to build it based on the job title or combination of job titles that have the skill level that you look for. So, and again, stop with all these percentages. I don't care how good you are. I care that you meet the minimum qualifications. So I hope this is helpful. I don't want to be like, I'm not here saying this to crush your spirits. I'm just saying your resume is bad, and that's the reason you're not getting any luck with jobs. Because I want you to get a job. I want there to be more software developers. I want there to be people that are happy and employed. That makes me happy. So I hope this is not too harsh. I hope this has helped. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a graphic designer. So they did not tell me how many applications they had. They did not tell me any other information. So all I know is graphic designer. There could be a lot of stuff. So the first thing that is wrong with this is the formatting. Typically, graphic designers have the worst formatting I've seen, along with marketers. Designers and good graphic designers have like the worst formatting. So I want it to look like this, and I can't go past this because they put their phone number. And again, please, if you submit it to me, please remove your phone number and your email. I don't want to dox people. But yeah, so again, I don't care that you have these. I care that you show me how. It needs to be here. Also, the formatting of this seems off, like not just like the general structure, but I feel like the font size. Please use 10.5 Arial. That is the best. Created diverse projects, brochures. Okay, so let me, brain not working. Here is what we're looking for, which is Adobe, Microsoft Office, Outlook, Excel, PDF, Word, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Creative Suite. So basically suites, anything Adobe. Creative Suites, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, After Effects, Figma, and Portfolio. We do need your portfolio instead of the LinkedIn typically. Again, I do know you have it here, but I don't care that you have it here. It has to be under a job. So Create a diverse design, including brochures, logos, book formatting, t-shirts, and car branding. This is actually really good. I like this. I want to be clear. Normally, I think people would be like, oh, it doesn't have the exact keywords, but the industry you're working in is pretty important. So the fact that you can show that you've done like t-shirts and cars and newspaper layouts is pretty good. Delivered high quality printing services. I don't care. Ensuring seamless transition from design to production. Again, you don't tell me how, so that doesn't count. Successfully managed multiple freelance projects, maintaining strong client relations, meeting deadlines. That's actually an okay way to say you multitask. I feel like it could be better, but I actually like how you wrote that. I think it could be a little bit better, but it's not bad. Specialize in branding solutions for apparel vehicles. Okay, again, this is kind of just a retread of your first sentence, and this can be it depending on it. Again, this is at least the United States graphic designer positions that I saw. They could be different outside the US, which this person is in. But the problem is you have this here. I need this here. So I need these keywords here. I do like that it showed you this one, but design, virtual access, quality of client focused, supervise and printing operation, maintain workflow, quality, timely projects. Again, you're not really telling me anything. Yeah, there's really not much here. You're kind of saying the same thing in every single one of these, except it doesn't tell me how you used it. Like, all I need is like used Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, and After Effects to create vehicle mock-ups to send to customers and stakeholders, right? Stuff like that. The resume is not really great because you're not really telling me what, how, why. Every bullet point besides the first under each job, which would be a summary of your job duties, needs to be what, how, why, which is what the keyword is, how you did it, and why you did it. So I don't think this resume passes, but there are one or two good sentences here. It's just the rest of it isn't. So that's it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you need more help, catch me out on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The link is below at 11 a.m. PST till about 2 p.m., give or take. And I want to help you all get jobs. So keep sending me your resumes, and I will keep reviewing them. And I hope this is not too mean. I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm trying to be cruel to be kind. Like, I really do want you all to succeed. I really do want you to get ahead of the job market. So I will see you next time.